July 2023 was a month to remember in Seattle. Taylor Swift, the All-Star Game, the usual flood of cruise ships and various community celebrations, all adding up to 3 million visitors. But is the crisis in the streets over, or does Seattle still need saving? It's a classic glass half full dilemma. Tonight, the Downtown Seattle Association's view on what they see as the city's comeback, with reporter Steve Kiggins taking us inside the numbers. Modern Seattle's reputation took decades to build and months to destroy, and that's part of the discussion next on Northwest Now. A federal survey recently showed that about 11% of the population in Seattle wants to move. Why? Crime Stoppers reports that Seattle is on track for an all-time high number of murders this year, one of only 10 cities reporting an increase in 2023. The Police Officers Guild says Seattle lost 600 officers since the defunding effort started in 2020. As a result, a Suffolk University poll shows that fewer than 40% of residents think police are doing a decent job. Small but visible parts of Seattle are open-air drug markets. Seattle Fire responds to 15 overdoses a day. And leaders in the International District say they're losing the neighborhood to crime, drugs, and vagrancy. Let me be clear about this. Seattle's problems are not just public relations. The problems are real. They're resulting in harm and resulting in the flight of both businesses and residents who can find a way to do it. But as Steve Kiggins tells us now, there's some evidence that Seattle's bottom may be behind us, at least according to those whose job it is to see the glass as half full.
Tourism officials say the warm and sunny months, we're doing pretty good, but it's those rainy and cold months where the tourism industry is kind of lagging behind. Meanwhile, the Downtown Seattle Association dashboard suggests another challenge might be those office workers still yet to return to the office.
This summer was a good test case for what we can pull off.
Tourists scramble for a picture-perfect snapshot of their visit to Emerald City icons. And after big-name concerts and major league sports spectacles, 2023 might be the heavy pendulum swing Seattle needed to get back into the spotlight.
We are, a world-class city, but we're still in that sweet spot of not taking it for granted, right?
Downtown Seattle Association's Kylie Rolfe says one of those sweet spots is highlighted in the nonprofit's Downtown Recovery dashboard, including stats showing a 21% decrease in violent crime year to year. The steep valleys in the data shows how absent visitors have been rebounding, showing feet beating a path across the city, selling out more hotel rooms in July of this year since August of 2019.
We've got great numbers happening. We have a new convention center open, and we've got lots of great collaboration going on in our community. Just feels really, really good.
When it comes to romance, a little rain can be a pretty great thing.
Visit Seattle says it's been busy selling Seattle's secrets in clever ways, like this cool kissing booth meant to lure overheated visitors in Phoenix.
What we really need is a mix of different kinds of business here. So we're very aggressively pursuing conventions and meetings. That has been the slowest segment to come back.
Lagging behind, according to dashboard data, is hard to miss when one can see emptied out offices inside downtown towers. But with more conventions on the horizon and a soon-to-be completed waterfront restoration, many see the lure for new residents and visitors might be inevitable.
We're hopeful that more employees, I think September will be kind of another sea change month in terms of return to office. We've heard anecdotally a lot of employers that are kind of using that as their start time to bring people back. And then we're also seeing a return of business travel and convention traffic. So I think that those two things, as long as they keep trending in that right direction, we'll be able to maintain that progress through the fall and winter.
In Seattle, Steve Kiggins, Northwest Now.
An in-depth conversation about the situation in downtown Seattle continues on the Steve on the Street podcast, streaming now on Apple Podcast and Spotify.